this lesson, we're going to learn all about saved modules. So just like we learned with page templates and then also with the saved rows, a saved module allows you to reuse content. Now, I generally do not use saved modules because I always find that I'm using a saved row because I want to drag in the whole row with maybe a few modules, a heading module or a text module. So I rarely actually use this saved modules function. And again, that's only because the Beaver Builder plugin comes with the saved rows functionality. Because obviously, as we know and that we have learnt, inside a saved row are modules. So by dragging a saved row into the page, you're also dragging some modules that have styles already applied. And that's exactly how a saved module works. So let's jump in. I'll show you guys how this works, but I just want to point it out that me personally, I generally don't use saved modules, but it's always good to understand how something works because by understanding something fully, you can leverage it and you can make decisions faster onto when you should use them and you should not. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you an example of when it might be appropriate to actually use a saved module. So here's a page that we're editing, and let's go ahead and launch Beaver Builder. So we're just going to go up to the admin bar and we're going to click on Page Builder to initiate the Beaver Builder page builder for this page. And now that we're in Beaver Builder, let's go down and let's find something that we will want to reuse. So here's a heading module, and if we click into that heading module, we're going to see that here's the text, and visually we can see there's some text, there's a background on half the text, and then the other text is just a transparent background because we can see the background of the row. So the way that I have done this background on part of the text of the heading is I've wrapped it in the strong HTML tag. So we can see here, I've opened up that HTML strong tag, and then I've wrote style equals, so I've just written a little bit of simple CSS where I've added a background color, so that teal color. And then I've also added some padding. So I've added 0 EMs to the top, 0.25 EMs to the sides, and 0.1 EMs of padding to the bottom. Again, this is some simple CSS. This is how CSS works. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're not going to go into that, but just know that I have styled this text here using a strong HTML tag. And if we go further along here, you'll also see that this strong tag only comes over to half that text. So it ends here, and then the second half of the text is just not in any tags, it's just in the heading module. So by wrapping half the text in that strong tag and giving that teal background, I've been able to design this, and again, you know, it's just a bit more creative and it's better than just dragging in a heading module. Now, throughout the website, when it comes down to branding, you want to make sure things look uniform throughout your website. So there's more than likely going to be a time throughout my website, even on every page, maybe even for every heading that I put into the page, I might want to have half the heading, so maybe the first couple of words with this background, and then I might want to just have the rest playing to put emphasis on these first couple of words. Now, I don't want to go into every heading module and then write this strong tag and then write the background and then add the padding, because the more manual you do something, the more room there is for error. And that's just humans, that's just how we are. The more we do something, the more chance it is of something breaking or us doing something inconsistently. So again, we're just trying to create this effect of the heading module with the first bit of text with a background. And the way that we can accomplish that throughout our website is by using a saved module. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys exactly how that works. So we're going to click Save As. So again, we're editing this heading module, and we're going to click this Save As button. Now, when we click this and we save it, and you're going to see in the pop-up that follows, it's going to look exactly like how we're saving a row. Clicking this Save As, it's saving the values in all these settings on this heading module currently. So the value here in the heading text field, the link target, all the styles, so all the style settings, the advanced, so if I wrote 30 pixels of margin on the top here and then I click Save As, this saved module would be saved with the 30 pixels margin top. So let's go back to 90 and let's just go ahead and let's click Save As. And let's call this heading with first text background. Okay, Global, this works exactly the same way as a saved global row. So if I clicked yes here, that means I could drag a saved module into multiple pages and only edit that module once and it would update everywhere. Again, I usually use saved rows. I don't think I've ever had to use a saved module with this set to yes, so a global saved module. I never do that. Again, usually on a row basis, but there's always a time for something. The Beaver Builder guys have preempted that. That's why that setting's here. So just know that is possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that as no. And what that means is anytime I drag in this saved module, so any instance of that is independent, and updating that module will not update any other instances of this saved module. So let's click save. And now I've saved this module as a saved module. Now the first thing that I want to point out is if we go to add content and then saved modules, you can see it's under here. And if we drag that into the page, so say we want to replace this with that sort of heading with the emphasis on the first couple of words, we can drag this saved module into the page. And as you can see, the headings come with all those settings that we had initially. So that text has come across, the links, the style settings, that 90 pixels, so these custom values that we've added, all the settings in this module have just been duplicated into this new module here. And because it's not a saved module, so again, we saved this module with the global settings set as no. Let's just make this background a black color and click save. And by updating that, because it's not a global saved module, when we go down, this has not updated. So changing this one up here has not affected this down here. Now let's go ahead and I'm just going to show you that global setting. So let's just duplicate this. Let's click on this heading. And I'm just going to change the text for this demo just so you guys can follow along. And we're going to call this global set to yes. And then I'm going to click save as to save this heading module as a new saved module. And we're going to call this heading with first text background global. And then let's set the global to yes. And again, if you're unsure, hover on the tooltip. Global rows and modules can be added to multiple pages and edited in the one place. And we're going to see exactly what that means. So it's going to be global yes. Let's click save. The first thing to note is now this is orange. So like the saved rows, the orange indicates that it is global. Now let's go up and let's do the exact same steps as we did before with this heading module over here. Let's go to add content. Heading with first text background, but this is the global one. Let's drag this into the page. So there it is, global set to yes. And you can see again, all these settings have come across as per the module that we saved. And then let's just go ahead and let's just change the background to a red color. So you can see that's saved to red. And again, that orange tag up the top here next to the module says, and it indicates that it is a global module. So let's click save. And let's scroll down and click done and publish, because the saved modules won't refresh any saved modules on that page. So there's that one that we changed to red. So again, that's the global. And because we updated that global, it's also updated down here. So that's how a saved module works, and that's how that saved global setting works. And just to reiterate, I generally find that I am using saved rows and not really the saved modules feature. There is one instance that I really do recall using the saved module feature, and that's for the subscribe form. Let's go ahead and go back into the Beaver Builder. So we'll click Page Builder up the top, and then under the Advanced tab, so Advanced Modules, let's drag in a subscribe form. And let's just put it under this heading here. Now I'm just going to, for these demo purposes, you would add, your mailing email client. I'm just going to put email address and the demo account that I set up for the tutorial. So you can see here it is here. Now I might want to make that inline. Again, this module comes with the paid versions of Beaver Builder, so if you're not seeing that, it's because maybe you're on a free version of Beaver Builder and you will need to upgrade to see this module. Now I also might want to have a custom thank you message. Thank you for subscribing. Please check your inbox from the Beyond Beaver team. Now the button colors, I might want this to pop, so my branding might be red, and I might want my call to actions to be, you know, like a green. So I'll come here and I'll change the background colors, and then I'll make the text, you know, like a white color. So there it is there. I might want to change the font size. And I might want to not have any rounded corners. So there's a subscribe form. And let's just click save. So there's the module. We dragged it into the page. We've set a unique background color for the button. We've set some font sizes and we've taken off the rounded corners. Now, I probably want to have this in multiple instances throughout my website. Because when I drag in that subscribe module, it takes on the default styling of the theme, and then I've just overwritten it on this module basis, I could, each time I do that, just adjust the settings like I just did, but that's repetitive and we don't like repetition. We want to work smart, so what we can do is we edit this module, make it a saved module, and then we could click save. Now this might be one instance where you do want to make this set to yes. I thought it'd be a great example because when you add this form, it's more than likely going to want to look the same throughout your website. So you could set this to yes. I'm going to go ahead and set it to no just for this tutorial. And let's click save. Module is saved. Okay. And let's just publish the page. Okay, let's go to our About Us page. And let's say we want to add a subscribe module here. So let's launch Beaver Builder. Okay, so now let's go to our saved modules. And there's that module that we just saved. Let's drag it into the page. And click save. So again, it's defaulted to the email address, the email account. It's inline. It has our custom thank you message. The button colors are all set up as green. So let's click save. And there it is. Now, if we hadn't created a saved module, we would have to go to advanced, drag and subscribe. That would take on the look of our theme. And then we'd have to go and select inline and so on. So that is one instance that I can think of where I have used a saved module. Now, the last thing that I want to show you in this lesson, because it is always good to understand what's happening behind the scenes. Let's click done and then just publish what we've just done. And then let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. And then under templates, so again, this is a Beaver Builder menu item. And let's click on all templates. You can see that those two modules that we created before, those two saved modules, have shown here. And that's because every time, again, we save something in Beaver Builder, that is a page or a module or a row, it gets saved to this post type up the top, fl-builder-template. And this type section indicates what sort of thing that we are saving in Beaver Builder. So these two things that we just saved were saved modules. From previous lessons, we have saved rows. So this is the footer widgets row. We have layout, which is full page layouts. And they're the three that we use. So that's how it works. And just know that they are saved in the database. And if you ever want to edit a saved row, you can come into here under templates and then you can click page builder. Then you can go ahead and you can make those changes. So let's just change this button to, maybe a purple color. Let's just save this module. Then let's go back to our About Us page, launch Beaver Builder, and then under Saved Modules, let's drag in that subscribe form. Click Save, and now it has that purple button. So just like a page template and like a saved row, you can edit them through the templates area of the WordPress dashboard. And lastly, to wrap up this lesson, another way to edit it is under Add Content, Saved Modules. If you hover like the saved rows, you get this wrench icon, and if you click on that, it will take you to the screen to edit this saved module. So I'll leave it there. That covers everything to do with saved modules and what you would need to know to be able to build websites faster. So let's leave this video here and go on to the next one.